Okay, we're rolling. All right, let's do this again. Hello, everybody. It's good to be back again with another Channel Pup live stream. Giving it a new little nickname, Chillin with Channel Pup. I think it's got a nice sense of sort of alliteration to it. And today, I'm just going to be sitting down with you guys, having a chat, just answering a few of your questions. The usual thing goes, please don't spam the chat. That's all I ask. Nothing abusive towards each other or anything, just the way it usually goes. Obviously, as per the usual, Super Chats will guarantee that your message gets read and a shout out. So, yeah, there we go. So, hey. So, first of all, my good pal Digital Heart, Joey, is in this stream. You might know him already. He made probably the most famous, most influential Spider-Man fan film in the history of Spider-Man fan films. It kind of, in some ways, it started kind of a movement. After that, everybody started making one, for better or for worse. And yeah, it's a really great film, and he's got a new trailer coming soon for his newest project, which is a sequel to that. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty sweet. Thank you to Biotin Arts. Yeah, I'm ready to chill too. Thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. You seriously, you support me way too much, man. Save up for a freaking car or something, dude. Bruh. Let's see, what is everybody saying? Okay, so the guy 69, great name, says a Sonic Adventure remake is going to happen. Now, I don't think we really have any evidence of this just yet. I know that there were some music files and stuff, but at the same time, like, Sega have been doing a lot with posting music onto their YouTube channel and everything, including a Sonic Adventure remix. They once did the Station Square remix with T-Lopes and Jin Senoi, and that was really awesome. I think if they do that, I'm hoping that they do it as, like, a collection like what they did with the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro remasters. I think that's the way to go. I don't know, maybe is that too much to ask, do you reckon? I mean, like, if they're using the same engines with a few little tweaks, theoretically it shouldn't be. Theoretically. Let's see, what else have we got in here? Hi, El Torito Films. It's good to see you again, buddy. Good Sonic says spam is canned meat. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it tastes very funny. Joy Critic says, what are you most excited about for the Snyder Cut? I'm just excited to be getting a Justice League movie, frankly. Just, it's gonna be like 3 hours long, so that's nearly double the length of the theatrical cut. So it just means there's gonna be more of it, for starters, and that's something I'm game for, but also just getting the proper experience that we should have got last time. I'm excited for whatever Zack Snyder brings us, because I'm a huge Zack Snyder fan. I'm a huge fan of his DC Extended Universe films, so I'm just excited to be getting a proper version of that movie. Let's see, what else have we got? Team Torchwood says, it's a shame Pup didn't like the Joker movie all that much. It's not that I didn't like the movie, I was just a bit disappointed by it. Like, I don't know, I hoped it would be a bit more than it was, But it's fine, it's another, superhero film, and for what it is, it's fine. Let's see. Yeah, no, King Ankylosaurus, am I pronouncing that right? They should remake Sonic Adventure 2 as Sonic Heroes as well. Definitely yes to Sonic Adventure 2, because that is probably one of my favorite Sonic games ever made. Not big on Heroes unless they really want to, add or improve it a little bit. That would be great. What else have we got? What else? Where are we looking? Oh, Nate, it seems like the Nightbot got you. I'm sorry. Let's see. Andrew Casali says, Tobey Maguire for Doctor Strange 2. Thoughts? I don't think it's going to happen, personally. Yeah, no, I think the odds of Tobey Maguire coming back for anything Spider-Man related, even in animated form, are very slim. As much as I would like to see that, I don't think that's going to happen. And besides, I mean, I don't think Doctor Strange 2 would be the place to host a Spider-Verse, put it that way. Let's see. Alpha Boy Games says, do you love Spidey more than Batman? I think so. Like, my main thing with Batman is I do enjoy Batman a great deal, but I think Batman is very much defined by the villains that he has. Whereas Spider-Man, I prefer him more as a character. I find Batman sometimes gets broody to the point of self-parody sometimes. So that's why I like Spider-Man, is that there's a bit more potential for genre busting with Spider-Man. And I think he's a more versatile character overall. Heath says, howdy, hello buddy, how are you doing? Yeah, no. Heath is a good pal of mine. He makes films as well. He made a fan film called Nascent Nation, which is a Superman movie, and easily the best Superman fan film I've ever seen. One of the best fan films I've ever seen, full stop. And yeah, I'd consider it up there with the official Superman movies for definite. They're brilliant. I mean, his film is brilliant. What am I saying here? Let's see. El Torito Films says, by the way, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Enrique Sandoval. Am I pronouncing that right? It's not really my real name, but it's my current pseudonym that I'm using until I'm satisfied with my true pseudonym. All right, man. That's cool. Alpha Boy Game says, Spidey or Sonic? Ultimately, Spider-Man is number one as far as fiction goes for me. I mean, he's with Toy Story, I guess, as far as fiction goes. But Sonic is probably my favorite video game character. My good pal Kinundo says, who would be your ideal cast of the Sinister Six? Oh god. Oh god, now this is going to be an absolute meme. Because I'm just trying to come up with it off the top of my head. Unless we're just talking about character cast and not acting cast. If we do character cast, I'd ideally like to go for the classic lineup, which I believe was led by Doc Ock. You've got Kraven the Hunter, Sandman, Mysterio. Oh, who else was there? Who else was there? I know way more than this. I'm just, Electro, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm cold at the moment, so I don't think I'm thinking straight. Yeah, no, I've forgotten the last one, but hey. Adzinko has arrived. How far are you into Doom Patrol now, and what do you think of it? I'm 3 episodes in. So I've just had the one where they go to the company of Dr. Fuchs in Paraguay. And I'm absolutely loving Doom Patrol so far. This show is right up my street, man. Like, I mean, it's one of those things that's very confident in how zany it is. That was something I very much loved about Gotham, was that sort of confidence in how zany it is. But I feel like Doom Patrol is a tighter ship altogether than Gotham ever was. So far from what I'm seeing anyway, it feels like this show was made for me. I don't know much about these characters from the comics, with the exception of Cyborg, who I know a bit more about than Mr. Negative and Robot Man, or whatever their names are. So yeah, if I do forget names, my apologies. Oh yeah, Vulture was the 6th member of the Sinister Six, you stupid pleb. There we go, that's it. Let's see, thank you guys. Let's see, what do we got? Andrew Casali says, would Keaton and Burton reunite for a Batman Beyond movie? I mean, I don't know if Burton would necessarily suit Batman Beyond, because we haven't really seen him do anything futuristic like Batman Beyond would kind of require. I would imagine Steven Spielberg would be probably more the better choice for a Batman Beyond movie. Oh, hey, Lime Knight just subscribed. Thank you. But if, I would be game to see Tim Burton do more Batman. I feel like, he had more love to give. I mean, obviously, what Tim Burton does is not really so much follow Batman comics and make movies of Batman so much as he did reinvent the character, and that really came across in Batman Returns, and I'd really just like to see him get all creative with it again. Like, I enjoyed his takes on these characters. So, yeah, I'd love to see Michael Keaton and Tim Burton, come back and work together. But I don't think I would want it to be for a Batman Beyond movie, if you get me. Alpha Boy Games says, who is your favorite Marvel villain? And Barry McLaughlin says, who's your favorite Spider-Man foe? These two go hand in hand because my favorite Marvel villain is Mysterio. Shloomy Sloms, sorry, asks, would you keep Gal Gadot, Shazam, and Jason Momoa if they restart the universe from Flashpoint? Joker and the Batman, please respond so I'll stop commenting this. Ooh, slightly slight threat there. Yeah, I would keep them on. Definitely. Like, I don't see any reason to recast them. The only person in the DC Extended Universe that I believe needs recasting is Queen Mara. Because abusers should be in jail and not in movies. But that's just my opinion. As for the Ezra Miller thing, that seems to have really dried up, doesn't it? We don't know what's going on there. But hey, hey. Hey, hey. Let's see, what else have we got here? What else have we got? Yeah, no, Cameron Winkler, I would agree that the Blade Runner 2049 guy would be good for Batman Beyond. I gotta admit, when I saw Blade Runner 2049, it was on TV. I was just doing other things. I was just off elsewhere. It was on in the background. So I haven't really seen it properly, but what I will say is, yeah, you definitely got a very futuristic atmosphere down pat, which was really cool. Let's have a look. Nooblet Plays says, Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck? Easily Bugs Bunny for me. Like, I love them both. I think the two of them go hand in hand. But Bugs Bunny is just the ultimate edgy shitposter, and, I can't help but love that guy. What else have we got? Optimal Optimus C137 says, thoughts on Venom 2? So this would be Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage. Title everyone's kind of making fun of, but I don't think it's a bad title, to be honest. The first movie was very much a dumb sort of action hack and slash kind of a movie. Well, in its second half anyway, so I would imagine a title like that would suit a sequel down to the ground, but like, I think the sequel definitely sounds a lot better than the original. Like, I thought Riot was easily the weakest link of the first film, so if Carnage and I think Shrike or Shriek, I don't know how it's pronounced, are going to be the villains, I think that's a much better basis for a movie for definite. Definitely. Definitely. Tom Topics, my old buddy, says, so, Breath of the Wild, from the looks of it, you've had an interesting experience with it so far. I got I got lost. Like, what happened was at the beginning, you have to put your Sheikah slate in the little panel that's on top of the big tower boy thingy. And it took me a while to work out that you had to click the right analog stick down to look through the Sheikah slate. And yeah, no, because like the old man talked to me and stuff. I missed that bit, and he wouldn't tell me again. So I had to quickly look up, just how to look through the Sheikah slate. And then when I did that, I put my markers on the big towers in the distance, as opposed to the shrines. And then I walked so far, and I kept going back in the opposite direction and stuff. And then I realized, wait a minute, it's the shrines. They're different to the towers. Ah, heck. So that's what happened there. That's what happened there. Let's see, what else have we got? Spider-Fan 2003 says, how comic accurate do you think superhero films should be? It depends, honestly, like what kind of thing they're going for, to be honest. I think as long as it doesn't completely defeat the object, I'm game for a new take. I mean, I'm always much, much, much more excited if at least the costumes look comic accurate or something. But, like, if they do want to definitely do, like, a brand new incarnation, I don't mind that. Just as long as it doesn't completely defeat the object entirely, As long as it doesn't do that, we're good, Like, as long as it's not like, oh, yeah, no, we're going to do a Batman origin where Batman's parents die in a plane crash or something like that, or we're going to do a Spider-Man origin story where his parents made him be Spider-Man, or something stupid like that. Like, we're good. We game. We game. The Pug Tolani says, is there any specific new character you'd like to see in the Snyder Cut? To be honest, I'm just happy to see the League again, frankly. Like, I don't really have any demands or anything. It'd be nice to see Martian Manhunter for definite. He was always one of my favorites back when I watched the animated series in the mid-2000s. But, you know, like I'm happy with the main league that we've got right now. That's something that I'm absolutely fine with. Do, do, do. Janie A says, "What do you think about the Sonic movie sequel?" I'm glad we know that we're getting one, and I think that sequel is definitely going to give Sonic fans a bit more to kind of rant and rave about, like, because we're getting a more accurate look for Dr. Robotnik. I mean, unless his hair grows back and his moustache trims down, I don't know. Like, I mean, to be honest, like, when I first saw the trailers and stuff, I was like, on Jim Carrey's early Robotnik design, but then when I was in the movie theater, I was like, yeah, this works well. So, like, if he does revert back, I won't mind, but I do think it's a bit of a tease to straight up, give him the, classic look and then revert it back. But ultimately, like, and hopefully Tails is going to get a big role. I like the idea that, Tails and Sonic will be teaming up. Adzinko asks, do you think John Watts should have set his Spider-Man movies in the 80s if it wasn't set in the MCU? I don't know. I mean, like, he's obviously a big fan of 80s comedies. Like, you've got the John Hughes influence, and then you've got the Chevy Chase vacation movies influence in Far From Home. I can imagine, but I don't know. I don't know. Ah, my buddy Biotinart, seriously, man, save up for a car, bro. He says, if you could play an MCU character, which one? Oh, yeah, I'd like to be a villain, I think. I'd like to be, I'm way too young, but I would love to be the Green Goblin, just because it sounds fun. It sounds like a lot of fun to be, Adventure says, CN or Nick? I'm a CN guy. I mean, when I was younger, the main thing I watched was SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents. But I like a lot of what 90s Cartoon Network had to offer, If I remember right, they had things like Johnny Bravo, Cat Dog, what else did they have? Freakazoid, if I remember right, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're both great in their own little ways. Hey, my good buddy Sheep, who designed the background set in most of my videos, although it's not actually set up for this one. Not yet, anyway. He's a great guy. Check out his Instagram and Twitter, Smart Sheep. He's a really cool guy. And he says, #BeatUpDwebley. This is an inside joke, where when I'm chilling with Boba Talks' server, there's a fella in there called Dwebley, and he's a good kid. He's a good kid. We just seem to pick on him, apparently, don't we? Polty the Ravenclaw says, you gonna get jacked for Green Goblin? I mean, if they want to cast me, sure, but, like, it's never gonna happen, and I'm not even an actor myself. Part of the reason I would love to be the Green Goblin is just so I can pretend to be Willem Dafoe, frankly, because I think Willem Dafoe is just an absolute legend. Good Sonic says, would you like to see the Sonic movies cross over with the MCU in a huge event? I don't think that's necessary. I can't imagine that. I mean, then again, we've had a talking raccoon. Maybe Sonic and Rocket Raccoon could be best buds. Who knows? Soldier66 says, Pup, you should play Destroy All Humans. I played all the old games and the new remake is amazing. Is it out yet? I get a strange feeling you would like it. I played the original Destroy All Humans and I thought it was terrific. I don't think I beat the whole game, but that was a great game. It was a great game. Okay, Samson Sandoval says, do you think there should be an alternate Marvel universe? Hang on, I lost it. Universe where Spider-Man lives in the early 50s. I would say 60s, man. But, like, 50s could be cool, too. Like, we haven't really seen Spider-Man in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. So, I'd be game for that. I'd be game. Now, let's see. Legend Life Gaming and Stop Motion says, did you ever notice that Edith is foreshadowing for how even when dead, Mysterio is effectively the hit? Oh my god, yeah. Jesus, I didn't even notice that. You just made this movie a little better for me. I already love this movie, so I'm very happy to hear that. Okay, Ardy Ivasu says, Pup, would you like to see a Spider-Man and TASM crossover? So when we say Spider-Man, are we talking Raimi? I would imagine we're talking Raimi if we're just calling it Spider-Man. Personally, if I'm going to see them crossover, I'd like them to be just characters in Spider-Verse movie, as in like a animated one. I think that's the only real way to make that work, personally. But that's just my opinion. I know that, you know, different people have very many different thoughts about that. Shlimi Shloms, you got a hard name to pronounce, buddy. Jim Carrey would be a good Goblin, but not Norman. I mean, I don't know. I think he can do serious acting pretty well. I think he could work. Thomas Jesner Kane says, what villains do you think will be in Miles Morales' Spider-Man? Okay, so I guess we're talking about the video game. I would imagine that Prowler is a safe bet, because Prowler's pretty intrinsic to Miles Morales' origins, unless they do want to cut that bit out, or maybe they're skipping ahead in time and they're not going to do that bit. That's fine too. But I think, like, who does Miles Morales really have that's kind of quintessential to him these days? I mean, I don't really know. I tend to think he just fights Peter's villains, but even so, they've used so many of them in the first game, and then they've got to have some for the second. I got no idea. Andrew Casali says, which movie Batman is more comic accurate? If we're talking about at the times, I would say Adam West, for definite. Like, all round, Adam West is probably the most accurate, you know, movie Batman we've ever had. Like, the Tim Burton Batman is obviously more a Tim Burton thing than it is the DC Comics Batman, more so than it is, you know, Bill Finger's Batman. But, like, it's, you know, it's a great, you know, interpretation of it. I think in many ways, Affleck's Batman is very accurate to the source material. I don't think he's ever gone as far with the killing thing in a more, you know, refined era Batman comic, or ever really done that story in that way before. I do like it a lot, but we haven't really covered that kind of ground before. I would probably say, honest to God, I think Nolan's Batman is one of the more comic accurate ones. Oliver's Voice says, where do you recommend to go in order to get the Ditko's original run of Spider-Man? I mean, I have the big books of Essential Spider-Man, which has all of the Ditko books in order, and it's got, I've got, I think, volume 1 to 4, and so I've got mostly Ditko and a bit of John Romita Sr. as well. They're not in color, but it's a great way to read them, and I mean, like, these things, I mean, Ditko didn't do the coloring, to my knowledge. He just did the drawing, the penciling, as they'd call it. So, I mean, that's probably the best way of doing it, but I don't know if that's outdated or if you can still get those books. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Tharies is here. Hi, Tharies. How you doing, buddy? Say hi to the wheelchair gang for me. Biotin Arts. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Dude, save up for a car. But thank you, buddy. He says, if you become a showrunner on Doctor Who, what would you do? I mean, I guess I can talk about it a little bit. I mean, I'd have like a multi-year plan kind of a thing. I would definitely want to focus on reimagining classic villains. I would rather do that than make new ones, to be honest. Because we all know how well that went with me. But, I would definitely want to do more sort of the serialized episode format. Do like 6 episodes a year, but all of them are in service of the same story, if you get me. Then you can kind of, you know, relegate budget over. But, I mean, I don't know what the BBC would have to say about that. But, I mean, like, if this was like, if it were completely up to me, I'll definitely have, like, Season 1 be devoted to the Cybermen, sort of rebuilding as an empire on Earth, using little scraps that they have in the 1980s. Season 2, big Dalek invasion, and, like, they pretty much conquer Earth, and the Doctor has to prevent it, but the Daleks have time-locked it, so people are going to die naturally. So then you segue over into Season 3, which is more of a quest kind of a thing, where Doctor has to team up with the Master, and find some kind of stone to reverse the... I don't know. I don't know. I haven't properly. I mean, I've thought it out, but I'm not going to bore you with the details. Maybe we'll talk about that another day. Hey, can one of the mods do something about Proteus Maximus? He's guilty of being a fucking idiot. Right, okay, so, Nublet Play says, if you were Tom in the Sonic movie, what would you do? I would make friends with Sonic, because that's a cool guy. That's a cool guy. Janie says, what do you think about the Marvel Avengers game? I'm very mixed on it. I mean, I personally would really love an open world Avengers game, but I don't think that's what they're doing. It looks more like we've got a hub world and lots of different levels devoted to the specific playstyles. But I don't see how they can make these characters feel truly comprehensive when there's this many of them in one game. So, I can't say. I can't say. Jake Horning, says Javier Bardem as Doc Ock in the MCU. What do you think? I would say Javier Bardem as Kraven the Hunter, but I'd definitely love to see Doc Ock in a future MCU Spider-Man film, because, like, Doc Ock is Spider-Man's arch nemesis, you know? So I definitely would like to see Spidey throw down with Doc Ock in pretty much every incarnation. I know it's too late for Andrew Garfield, but yeah, no. Spider-Fan 2003 says, thoughts on Crash Bandicoot 4? I think it's a miracle that game even exists, you know? I think it's a miracle that, you know, we're living in a day and age where a previously dead video game mascot has now been revived and is getting a brand new game. That's awesome. That is fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, no, like, can we get one of those for Spyro? Can we get Spyro for? That would be sweet. Okay, Norvius says, wait, think about it. If you have no knowledge about him and you see a blue creature with human and animal features, you would just make friends? Interesting. I mean, if I see furry animals, I usually want to just freaking befriend them. That's usually my first instinct. I mean, provided he's not growling at me or, like, charging at me. If he's just standing there like, meow, I'll be like, meow. You know? Hello. Matteo Signo says, hi from Italy. Hello. It's nice to know I've got some people watching from Italy. I didn't know I had Italian fans. Or viewers. I'm not going to make assumptions. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I mean, Jesse Adair, yeah, I mean, Wrath of Cortex is Crash 4. I mean, it even says on the Japanese cover Crash Bandicoot 4. But I think they're just gonna they're kind of overwriting that. I mean, at the end of the trailer, it says like how many times have you fought this guy before, and he's like, oh, 3. It's like, yeah, seemed like more. They got some real balls to do that. That's funny as hell. That's really funny. But I think that just goes to show that yeah, it's fully rebooted, you know. Drake Horning says, what did you think when you first heard that a Morbius movie was in the works? I thought Sony was getting desperate. I mean, like, who asked for it originally, you know? I think that first trailer looks pretty good, to be honest. But, I mean, I just think it's a crazy, crazy idea. They're using what they've got anyway. They're using what they've got to make a cinematic universe if they can. Let's see. Stormageddon Bod says, are we still going to White Castle? Yes, we're going to White Castle Burger. We're going to go beat up Dwebley, and we're going to go to White Castle Burger. Let's see, what else have we got? Alpha Boy Game says, if you see a radioactive spider crawling around your neck or arm, will you let it bite you? No. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let it bite me. I'm going to try and get away. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, I've been bitten by a spider before, but all it did was itch and swell up a little bit. Not fun. Not going to really let that happen again, if I can. Amazing61 says, I would climb the Empire State Building if I was Spider-Man. Yeah, I think that's always my favorite thing to do in any Spider-Man video game. Just go to the top of the Empire State Building, jump off, and just do a big old web swing when I get to the bottom. That'd be fun. Byron Art says, when are you going to give TFS Inferno his goddamn pizza? I honestly don't even know where this meme came from, but iPlays Now says, if you made Spyro 4, what would it be about? I think I would still use Spyro Enter the Dragonfly as kind of a basis, you know? I think there's potential in there, but it would definitely be a very different game, you know? But really, really expand on the little things that did work about Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, you know? That's something I would definitely like to do. I mean, I like the idea of remaking games that are bad and making them good, you know? Okoli Daniel says, have you played Spider-Man PS4? And if you did you like it? That reminds me, I haven't done a video on Spider-Man PS4, have I? Yeah, no, like, I loved the game. I thought it had a great story to it. I really felt like I was Spider-Man. I would say it's up there with the Spider-Man 2 game. Probably better overall as a game. Yeah, that's how I would feel about that. Station 50 says, do you think there'll be a Sonic movie tie-in game? If it was gonna happen, it would have happened by now. I'm 100% certain. Yeah. Nicholas Bintner says, how do you feel about Ray Park maybe being fired by Disney? I saw the screenshots of what his wife allegedly put, and what his son allegedly put, but his wife since came out and did an interview saying for people to back off. It's not, you know, revenge, erotic imagery. It's just that he was hacked, and, like, she's basically asked us to all step back and mind our own business. And if that's the case, then fine. Absolutely fine. I'll just keep my mouth shut on the whole thing until any more information comes out. I would be sad if, you know, it turned out that it was true. I don't think it is, though. I don't think it is. Okay, let's see. What else have we got? What else? Byron Art says, would you remake Sonic 06 if you had the chance? I think part of the issue with Sonic 06, though, is its storyline, so you'd need to do quite a bit of work with that. I know that there is a Sonic 06 remake on the way, though, for PC, that fans are working on, and it's pretty incredible from what I've seen. Like, they've updated the graphics, the controls are better, Sonic handles better. It's night and day, really, and it's nice to see that, you know, fans are, you know, really going into parts of Sonic history that, you know, didn't really work and making peace with them. I'm grateful for that. Uh, Azil Perez says, would you like an MCU that takes place in the 60s? Hell yeah, I would. That would be a dream come true for me. You could have, like, super comic book accurate costumes and everything, because in the 60s, like, people would, you know, it was all about expression back then, so they would make ridiculous looking outfits. Okay, Ginny A says, what MCU Phase 4 would you want to see? I'm just looking forward to Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and Shang-Chi and the Seven Rings. 10 rings, isn't it? It's 10 rings. Stupid. Um, yeah. Thomas Jesner Kane says, a friend of mine did make a theory about how Uncle Ben died in the MCU. He thought that Uncle Ben died at the Stark Expo in Iron Man 2. Yeah, no, thank you. Spidey is way too young to, you know, be in any way responsible for that. And, you know, Peter Parker does need some ties to Uncle Ben's death if they're going to do that. Personally, I don't think it ruins it or it's egregious or anything, but I would prefer if they didn't say that the little kid in Iron Man 2 was Peter Parker. I mean, to be honest, he wasn't. Let's be real here. Like, you know, they can say it all they want in publicity. At the time Iron Man 2 was made, that kid was not Peter Parker. You know? Bora, are you gonna... Sorry, dude. With all due respect, are you gonna contribute anything to this, or are you gonna keep just saying the name of your podcast? Okay, let's see. What else have we got? Um, yeah, no, this is what I was saying was, yeah, I would prefer if they, just said that Spider-Man, I mean, obviously Peter Parker is going to be a guy that's aware of Iron Man to begin with, and he's gonna look up to it because he wants to be a superhero, wants to be a scientist. Iron Man is both those things. It makes sense. Let's see. Beat up Irish and Dwebley. Why? Just so Dwebley doesn't feel lonely. Now, we're going to beat up Clockface next. It's just a joke. There's a deleted scene where a family are attacked in Avengers 1. Do you think that could be Peter and Uncle Ben, says Adzinko. Uncle Ben's death shouldn't relate to a big event taking place in another movie or anything. Like, it needs to, it needs to be a situation that Peter Parker is directly connected to. Ginny A says, I don't want Tom Holland to voice Tails in the sequel. I want I want the OG actress. I agree. Like, they've already had Colleen, is it Colleen O'Shaughnessy? Is that her name? They've already had her voice Tails in the after credits. So it would be a bum rap if they recast her. Like, just let her keep the role, She's great in the role. Grassy Man Production says, I would like them to do Kraven's Last Hunt. Yeah, that would be really cool, but I think it's too soon for that. I think you need a Spidey that's a little further along the line, Yeah, and I agree, like, Uncle Ben's death does need to be related to Peter Parker, even if it's not like... I don't like saying it's Peter's fault, because really it's not. Like, he couldn't have known. And not everyone can be expected to, be a superhero. But it's true, like, it does need to be tied to him. A Fantastic Four movie should take place in the 60s, but the film ends with a team and Doctor Doom ending up in modern day. Yeah, that's an awesome idea. I mean, they would be quite a bit older, unless it's like a time travel thing like Captain America. I don't know, but, like, I'd definitely like to, yeah, I'd like to see a 60s superhero movie anyway, and I think the Fantastic Four is a good way to go. Badre Bali says oh wait, no, I've already read that one. Silly. Rock Film says would it be cool 616 Spider-Man Ditko in Into the Spider-Verse? Yeah, I would love a Ditko Spidey in Into the Spider-Verse. Just like have him in saying stuff like, room full of alarm clocks and stuff like that. That would be great. I mean, he's the original, isn't he? He deserves a bit of love, I think. What else do we got? Oh yeah, Quantum Realm, as you say, Grassy Man, as you say. Norvia says, I think they should have made Spider-Man in the MCU like they did in PS4, older and more experienced. I mean, I would be game. I mean, if they reboot it again, I do want an older and more experienced Spider-Man. I feel like we've really nailed the kid side of Spider-Man, but I think the reason they did it as they did was they wanted to focus on Spider-Man being the kid superhero of the MCU. Like, we didn't have that at the time. Obviously, we're going to be getting Ms. Marvel soon, but we didn't have a kid Avenger, and that's kind of the angle they've really leaned into with MCU Spider-Man. So I think that was a good way to go. Biotonart says, what if Uncle Ben was also Spider-Man in the 60s and died being Spider-Man, and that's why Peter never brings him up? God, no, please, no. My God, no. That's horrible. Like, basically, I don't mind them not covering Spider-Man's origins in the MCU. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I really don't mind. As long as they don't outright contradict it. If they contradict it, then I will be as annoyed as the people that are annoyed about it are. May killed Uncle Ben for life insurance money. Jesus, Stormageddon. Jesus. I mean, yeah, as the Spider Guy says, obviously they're not going to recast Tails if they've already done the post-credit scene. I mean, they might have done that with Thanos, but Paramount and Disney are not the same companies. Yeah, there's that, but also just like, why would you, Why would you? You've got the voice of Tails. There should be a scene in New Spider-Man like Homecoming where Peter looks into water and Uncle Ben says, with great power comes great responsibility. I think the right time to introduce Uncle Ben would be at the very end of Peter's young Spider-Man arc at the very, very end. Really earn it and just have, like, it, you know, maybe Spider-Man's name's been cleared and just have Spider-Man see Uncle Ben kind of looking proud of him, and then, I don't know, maybe he just looks back and he's not there, you know? Just, you know, maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're gonna earn the Uncle Ben thing, but ultimately, what they're obviously trying to do, and I do intend on doing a proper video elaborating on this, is what they're trying to do is avoid retreading old ground, which is fine. They want to tell a new story for Spider-Man, and if you're going to do that, you want it to feel self-contained. So if they keep referencing the origin story, which is a story outside of this story, which is Spider-Man's beginnings in the MCU, effectively, it will raise more questions, I guess. I can't say for sure, but I think what they're trying to do is not do the beginnings of Spider-Man, because we know that he had his hooded costume and he's implied that things went down in Civil War, but, like, they're trying to tell, this is the story of Spidey's beginnings in the MCU. This is the story of him finding his place in this universe inhabited by other superheroes. This is the story of a young Avenger, and I have no issue with that. And I get that people would like to see some more references to the origins, but I think they're not doing that simply because they're trying to make the story self-contained. And I understand that too. I'm fine with either. We'll have to see how it goes. We'll have to see how it goes. But, like, either way, I don't mind. Let's see. Pagrek says, Pup, I know you're under an NDA, but can you tell us a little about your role in the next Spider-Verse movie? Well, we know that there's a new Spider-Verse movie coming, and, alright, I'll just say I'm in it. And that's all you're gonna know. That's all you're gonna know. But yes, I am in an upcoming Spider-Verse movie. I have got an appearance in it. Not the answer you were expecting, were you? But I'm telling you, I'm not even lying here. I'm not even lying. Let's see. Bora Uster says, I actually made a story about MCU Spider-Man before the Civil War movie. I would really like to share that with you, but I can't write it all to the chat. So, I mean, Bora, you've got me on Discord, man. Just DM it to me if you can. Like, I'll be happy to give it a little read through and everything. Let you know what I think. Of course, that is if you want to know what I think. I'm not gonna just, you know. Grassy Man says, Pup, I really want them to do Kraven, Chameleon, and Scorpion, not in the same movie, just the next three. Yeah, no, I think... Sorry, scratchy throat right now. Yeah, no, they're good choices, because we haven't seen them before. I think Scorpion's definitely inevitable, and they've definitely hinted at Kraven, outside of it. So, yeah, I'd be game. Okay, let's see, what else have we got? Rourke Film says, would you like to see an animated miniseries of Spider-Man's life story? I'd like to see an anime of it. Base it quite closely off of the Ditko comics as well, but stretch it out into, like, 30-minute long episodes. You could have 10 of them. Yeah, really great opening song. Obviously subbed and in Japanese. That would be great. I would be game for that. I don't think Ned Leeds is going to become the Hobgoblin. I think Ned Leeds is effectively Gank Lee, and they're just not gonna go down that route, Yeah, the Enforcers are ones that you could definitely include as well. Yeah, no, definitely. Sheep says, hey Pup, I will play the Spider-Sona Spider Sheep in the upcoming Spider-Verse movie. Oh, by the way, folks, for anyone that's worried that I'm ignoring them, as I've said, there's a lot of messages that come up. I can't keep track of every single one. I can't answer every single one. But if you do want to get a guaranteed read, Super Chat is the way to go. Chameleon was Peter's bodyguard in Far From Home in the comics. I mean, the guy's name was Dimitri, so we don't know. But El Torito Films says, "Hey, can you play OMG by Usher by any chance?" We don't usually do song requests in there, but let's look it up, and I can probably play a brief moment of it, but I'm probably going to get copyright, but we'll see. I'll just turn it on very quietly and kind of talk over it, I guess. But thank you for the super chat, El Torito Films. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's on in the background. Grassy Man Productions says, "Hey pup, you know in Far From Home, Beck says Quentin Beck was made up. So who is he really?" I mean, does he ever explicitly state that he's made up? I mean, he said, I mean, I don't know why you would use your real name for that kind of persona. I can't say, really. Killering Ray 57 says, "What Spider-Man villains what do you think will appear in the new Spider-Man film? And which is the one you really want to see?" I mean, I think Kraven's inevitable, and I think Scorpion is inevitable. I think there's a perfect opportunity to bring Vulture back, because he was the first villain to know Spider-Man's secret identity. But I think this is also the perfect opportunity to have Venom. I've made a video about it on my channel, what I expect to see in Marvel Spider-Man 3. So I really suggest you go check that out, because you can kind of see, where I'm, coming from. Pagrek says, "You used my artwork in the It Gets Worse Sonic OVA thumbnail. Where the heck did you get it? I can't find where I originally uploaded it." Did I? I mean, I just went on Google and looked up Sonic OVA and thought it was from the movie. If I have used your artwork, would you prefer that I change the thumbnail for it, or would you prefer that I give you a credit in the description? It's completely your choice. Super Crazy says, "If you could change one thing about the Gotham finale, what would it be?" End on a better shot of the Batsuit, man. Like, that final shot was just horrid, man. It's so fake looking. The suit I don't like either, but if it's between fixing the compositing of that final shot CGI and changing the suit, I'll go with the compositing, honestly, because, like, yeah. Are you sure, Pagrek? Because, like, I'll go back into the video and I'll give you a credit. Let me just open up YouTube Studio. Man, that video, it's crazy how much the thumbnail style has changed as well, isn't it? Like, the channel looks very different to what it used to. It gets worse. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, we'll go Sonic artwork in thumbnail by Pagrek. There we go. Save. Alright, we got it, we got it. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I too miss Gotham. I think, yeah, the third film is a good choice for the Sinister Six. That'll be a good one. See you later, Amazing 61. It was good hanging out, buddy. Yeah, you go get some rest, man. Nah, I don't think Ned Leeds is going to become Hobgoblin. I don't think Ned Leeds is going to become the Hobgoblin Alpha Boy games. Grassy Man Productions, back at it again with the great questions, man. Imagine if Disney XD had a Spider-Man series based on the Ditko comics. Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be a really awesome show. I'd be game for that. El Torito Film says, "By the way, I just kind of hate at times that the MCU kind of wastes a lot of good stuff, even from the comics, mostly because of rights, but they could have done poor things through. I mean, it depends what you mean. If you mean the origins, I can understand why you might want to see the origin story done with Tom Holland and stuff, but personally I would say we've got the perfect Spider-Man origin story done with Tobey Maguire and Cliff Robertson as Uncle Ben. I think that's as good as you're going to get. Let's see. What else? Badre Bali says, "Finding out the plans for the later seasons of Spectacular Spider-Man makes me even more upset that the show was cancelled after 2 seasons. Were there plans for the third?" Oh boy, Biotinut says, "Say Hobgoblin 10 times fast. Hobgoblin, 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 Hobgoblin." Yeah, no, you can't. You can't do it. You can't do it. It just doesn't work. What white-haired woman in in Spider-Man Homecoming. I didn't see one. Oh boy, I've actually done a number of Star Wars videos. They're a little ways back on the channel. I uploaded them around December time when The Rise of Skywalker came out. They didn't do brilliantly for views, but if you want any Star Wars content from my channel, it's back in December is where that is. Landon 1195 says, what features do you want added to Spider-Man Miles Morales? Make the buildings slippery when climbing up them because it's winter. Make it a bit more difficult, you know? Jaden Okoli says, which Spider-Man suit do you like from the PS4 version? I definitely play in the webbed suit the most nowadays. Like, it just looks so visually stunning, you know? It's just such a stunning looking costume. Let's see. Hoverboy Game says, Pup, would you rather have spider powers or super speed? Does the web come with the powers, or do I have to make shooters? Because I wouldn't know how to do that. I think super speed, honestly. That would be a fun one. Oh, happy birthday to one of the guys at Boys Ansbacher. In many ways, I agree, Pagrek. I think the Raimi suit looks fantastic. But, like, I gotta say, I also love the Far From Home suit. See you later, Alpha Boy Games and Bora. You guys take care out there. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no, the Grassy Man production says, I really, really, really want Spider-Man 3 MCU film to be set in December and be snowy. Yeah, like a Christmas Spider-Man film, you know? Maybe they'll work with that, you know? We never know. Oh, you weren't talking about MCU Spider-Man. Sorry, Altorito. It's the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. Especially the Hulk himself in the MCU. There's so many stories that they can pull off, but Disney's got a flipping schedule. Yeah, it is one of those things where the MCU does move very fast, so you can't get certain stories out of characters that you might have wanted to see. However, we are going to be seeing the real Mandarin in the Shang-Chi movie. It just means that we don't get to see Iron Man really face off with the Mandarin, but I think they kind of set up Thanos as Iron Man's kind of nemesis in this universe, as opposed to the Mandarin. Adzinko says, do you think Miles will be associated with winter since Spider-Verse came out in winter and the Miles game is set in the winter? It does actually appear to be a running trend, doesn't it? Yeah, it definitely appears to be a trend. Guys, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get a drink real quick. I'll be back. All right, we're back. So, we're coming up for the end of the stream as we approach the hour mark, but I would like to see some suggestions now. Guys, I'm going to be real. It's been a little bit depressing that this time last year the channel was probably doing the best it's ever done, and this year's been a bit of a downgrade. And I think what's happened is I probably lost a lot of people's attention and stuff. So what I want to do is I want to sound off with you guys about what you think needs to be done. what you want to see from Channel Pup, and I don't necessarily even just mean content at this point. I mean just kind of overall, you know. Oh, Biotin, you're such a kind man. Isn't he a kind man, everybody? Like, you know, give, you know, everyone drop a big TY for Mr. Biotin Arts. He's a kind one. Um, yeah, so what we've got going right now is I'm just trying to make content kind of as regularly as I can. I've got a second channel where I cover, it's more of a venting channel, but I kind of just say what's on my mind basically on that one. It does get a little bit political, but hey, no hard feelings. And that's called Channel Goat, where, you know, well, Channel Goat does the talking. But yeah, I would like your suggestions for what content you'd like to see from me. And yeah, no. Oh, Spider-Man is back. Hello. Do you plan to make a video essay on MCU Spider-Man? There's more to come with Spider-Man. You might not have noticed, but I have unlisted a number of videos from last year that were Spider-Man related because I don't feel I got my points across well enough in that. So I want to, you know, I want to properly go into that better this time. So there's going to be more talking about MCU Spider-Man for definite. You can count on that. And thank you for the $2 super chat. Okay, so I'm just looking through. Okay, you definitely got some ideas. You definitely got some ideas. Georgie Mama Lashvili says, "Are you excited for the Spider-Man Another World trailer?" Oh boy, am I. Boy, am I. Yes, no, we're going to be talking about that soon, actually. Like I've got quite a bit to say about Spider-Man Another World ahead of excuse me, ahead of time. So yeah, there will definitely be some content pertaining to that. And as for my own reimagining of Spider-Man Rourke films, I do, I would like to do more of Spider-Man, but I don't have the ideas right now. I've done, I've done stuff that, you know, I've done the stuff that's been sitting around in my head for a long time, but I haven't really given it much thought since then. I've kind of got out kind of the things I would like to cover. Once again, Spidey Man, thank you so much. Yeah, no, Star Wars content. Like, I've done videos on the three Star Wars trilogies, a trilogy of trilogies, I guess you could say. Um, and most of that stuff came out around the December time, but I guess I could maybe do something a bit more comprehensive with Star Wars, maybe. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I like Star Wars a lot. My girlfriend, if anything, is the biggest Star Wars fan between the two of us. I like the Star Wars movies a great deal. Like, I would call myself a Star Wars fan, but she is a bigger Star Wars fan than I am. And she's even a fan of the sequel series. I think she just likes all Star Wars. I do like how you talk about news on Spider-Man and Sonic as an example. More rumors. I don't know if there is a video you made about the 3D Mario collection. The only Mario game I've ever played is Mario Odyssey. It's a matter of what I can get on the Nintendo Switch, as it's the only Nintendo console. The only Nintendo can't speak today. The only Nintendo console that I own. So we would have to we'll have to see a live stream for the Miles Morales game when it comes out. I mean, I don't think I'll be getting the game as soon as it comes out, unfortunately, just given the pricing of all these things. I can't generally afford it, sadly. But oh, hang on, we've got lag. We've got lag. It's unfortunate. Hang on, let's see if I can fix this. I think should be a little